So I know a lot of you are looking at this match and the first thing you're thinking of, wait a minute, you're really ranking this match over the likes of Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega, and Minoru Suzuki versus Shingo Takagi? And yes, I am. And for this reason. There is a such thing as enjoying a wrestling match for what it is supposed to be. When you meet this match at its door, it is a super fun, brawl-like street fight, unlike one that I have seen all year. I don't believe in this whole ratio that just because this match is not meeting the standards of a 5-star classic that it can't be ranked on this list. It absolutely can, and it absolutely has been. And to further go into why I feel so passionately about this match, here's a clip from my top 10 AEW Dynamite videos from 2019 to 2020 viewpoint on this match. Professional wrestling is not real. It's not meant to be taken 100% seriously 100% of the time. And I think fans nowadays are so caught up in the world of what is and what isn't kayfabe and what dirt sheets are reporting on, and sometimes they can't take a step back and just have fun with the art form that they're watching. This match is not a mat classic. It doesn't have some super in-depth story. It's not a 35-minute classic in a Tokyo Dome. But when I tell you this match was quite simply one of the most fun pieces of wrestling art I have ever seen, I mean it. I don't remember the last time I laughed, smiled, and came away thinking, holy shit, that was different and that was awesome, the way I did when I saw this match. Was it ridiculous at times? Absolutely. And that was the beauty of it. It was crazy enough for you not to be able to look away, but not too out of left field where you were like, this is ridiculous, I don't want to watch this anymore. It was greatly crafted by two men of the Inner Circle, and two men who I believe never teamed up until this point in Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega, that came together for this Falls Count Anywhere match and truly went anywhere and everywhere and managed to accomplish things I either have never seen before or haven't seen in a very long time in pro wrestling. I'm not the type of guy to go back and watch things more than once unless it's something great and has a lot of replay value, and I've seen this match 3 times now, and I love it each and every time I watch it. Its goofy non-conformity really sticks out more than any match I've seen in a very long time. And if you have a problem with this match being so high on the list because it's not a technical mat-based classic, there is not a problem with the list, there is a problem with you. As someone who's been following the careers of both Sasha Banks and Bayley since their days at NXT in 2014, this match was very much like watching two of your childhood heroes fight. While Sasha and Bayley aren't on the same level of a Trish Stratus and Alita, these two women have made magic together over the past few years, whether together or apart. And this was just another chapter in a long-running storyline that was their 6-year-long feud. They used the cell to their advantage, getting great utilization out of anything they touched, without ever exiting the cell. Throw in the incorporation of kendo sticks, chairs, tables, ladders, and some dope spots you normally never see men perform in these stakes. Spliced in with some crash dummy selling from Sasha Banks and great heel performances from Bayley as we've been seeing all year, and you have yourself a great women's match that will live on for years to come. Possibly even one of the best Hell in a Cell matches of the last few years. A high-speed, high-energy match with the chemistry of two mad scientists in the ring. 2 years ago, Hiromu Takahashi and Taiji Ishimori had my all-time favorite junior heavyweight wrestling match, and ever since then I longed for a rematch. When we got just that at Jingu Stadium this year, which was a great match. It wasn't phenomenal as the first one, but it all but surpassed all the heavyweight matches that were on the same card. In this one, they were back at it again, this time in the same tournament they had their very first battle. And while this one did not quite live up to the magnitude of the first, this was better than the last one they had, and was an outstanding one as well. Just an absolute terrific showcase about how the juniors somehow withstand muscle pain after carrying New Japan on its back for the entire year. Ridiculous, but I don't question it. I accept it, I love it, and you will too. Mayu Iwatani is one of the best wrestlers in the entire world, male or female. A true pro in making her opponent look like a beast in the way she sells all of her offense. And it comes a lot easier for her when she's going up against someone like Utami, who primarily uses power moves to get things along. Mayu and Utami managed to keep a steady flow in the beginning and progress into a battle of who can endure more. There were no shortage of big spots and close near falls to keep this match not only moving, but left you on the edge of your seat by the end stretch. Oh, and only Mayu would take a sick ass spot like taking a tombstone piledriver on the apron. This match rules. Stardom rules. Oh, and spoiler alert, this won't be the last time you see a Stardom match on this list. Seeing Kenny Omega in there with a Lucha Libre based wrestler and seeing him work defense to a primary based high flyer while maintaining his own New Japan Epic / AEW 5-star mix that 2020 Omega competes at was quite a delight. Laredo Kid's targeting of Kenny's leg though wasn't as effective in the long run, it was tasty to watch. Laredo Kid was out here doing a 450 to the knee Robbie Eagles style, or rolling out of Kenny's offense and smoothly putting him into a leg hold. And don't get me started on that one-winged angel roll through into an inverted figure 4 leg lock. Mwah! Believe it or not, this was my first experience watching a match from AAA Mania, and it was an awesome captivation. The action was great. The commentary should not go without flowers. They did an outstanding job. I didn't know what the hell they were saying because I don't speak fluent Spanish, but the heart and soul that these two commentators put into everything and telling the narrative, it was amazing, and I immediately was entranced in everything going on just by the way they made every move feel important. There's a lot to appreciate about this match, and I think there's probably some more to appreciate about AAA in the very future. Two of the top babyfaces in New Japan Pro Wrestling clashing head-to-head on the second day of the G1 Climax 30 was never not going to be an absolute treat. What we got was a sensational fight to be the best. There were no cheap heel tactics, no fighting from underneath, no needed comeback, just two guys with very distinguishable personalities that are loved by the crowd in the arena and the people at home, going toe-to-toe with one another in a masterclass of throwbacks to previous encounters, near pristine in-ring psychology, and nail-biting end-stretch finishes that even got the most silent audience member in Idio Arena immersed in the action. Tremendous work from Naito Tetsuya and Tanahashi Hiroshi. Joey Janela's Spring Break 3 is a show that I hold very close to my heart. It is, without a doubt, my favorite pro wrestling show that I ever attended. Not the best, but my favorite. The atmosphere, the matches, just everything about that first night was just perfect. So imagine my excitement for Joey Janela's Spring Break 4 when we got the confirmation of Minoru Suzuki versus Orange Cassidy, and then COVID went and fucked everything up. We did end up getting JJSB 4 later this year. Sadly, we did not get that match featured, but in turn, we got a marvelous match between Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty. So many intricate holds and cat-style submissions, the sweet escapes and seamless transitions into a new lock. This match was almost the polar opposite of a contest you would come to expect from a glorified indie-rific event like a Joey Janela Spring Break, but this was a masterclass that even a rowdy indie crowd that cheered for an hour-long clusterfuck rumble match could appreciate. A match that put Lee Moriarty on the map, and one that reestablishes Jonathan Gresham's place as one of the most technically sound wrestlers in the world today. And also there were two talented black wrestlers showcasing why melanin always glistens in the spotlight. So, we win. I'm far from the biggest Yoshi-Hashi fan you can find. Honestly, I think it's hard pressed to find a Yoshi-Hashi fan in a 100-mile radius, given the amount of disrespect that this man receives over the course of his tenured career. But allow me to give this man flowers for a moment. He came into this match with a pre-existing story with Evil, taking him out of the New Japan Cup and shelving him for a while. He didn't forget about it. With the most drive and emotion I've ever seen from Yoshi-Hashi, he charged at Evil before the bell even rang and kept that energy throughout this entire match. To be frank, Evil had an atrocious line of matches after his heel turn at New Japan Cup, and very few wrestlers were able to break Evil's super predictable and plotted heel match formula. The Headhunter was one of them. When the match was in primarily control of Evil, Yoshi-Hashi really expressed the danger and pain he was going through. And when he started to come back at a point where he made himself the dominating factor, Evil actually did a very great job of making YH's offense look like he was doing a number on him. And it's rare to see a top heel struggle in a match against someone who isn't on their level placement wise, but once you entered in Act 2, you went into the shift where the babyface started taking the match and the heel had to fight from under by any means, and it made for such a different feel and a great story. And even though the outcome was never in doubt, nobody ever thought Yoshi-Hashi was winning this goddamn match, no matter how great it was going to be, this match never doled out and never made you feel stupid for wanting to see Yoshi-Hashi get his vengeance. Don't let anyone tell you that Yoshi-Hashi did not carry Evil in this match, because he did. Don't let anyone tell you that this was not Evil's best singles match of the entire year, because it was. And don't let anyone tell you this was not a great match, because it is. Just a mega fun sprint to the finish. These four big, bulky, hard-hitting blocks of human came into this ring, and as soon as the bell rung, they charged at each other, and it was amazing. Take everything you know about the coveted New Japan 5-star epic and cut out 20 minutes of it, and you're left with this straight-out, all-action-filled battle. There were some periods in here where these men had some breathing room to try and work down one another, but it never truly shifted the pacing of the match. You saw the best of what all four men could deliver to the table. The incorporation of tags weren't super frequent to the point where the structure broke down, but peppered in enough to spice up the action at times where it seemed like a huge brawl. This was a true embodiment of New Japan's Never Division, and I firmly believe this is a great match to introduce anybody into what either of these guys are all about. Also, this was Evil's last great match before he turned into whatever the hell he is now. Thank Yoshi-Hashi for giving him his best match since then. A precursor for the NXT UK Championship match later to come on this list, but also an exceptional tag match where everyone was existential to the run-through. Pete Dunne brought in his map-based tech-savvy nature along with incorporated flurry of moves, which made a good contrast to the very plotted offense and or defense delivered by Alexander Wolf, who while not in the match all too much did play a really good role. Then you have Ilya Dragunov, a hard-hitting mini beast with the speed of a torpedo that can endure brutal pain inflicted on him, especially the likes of Volta, who in like all cases is an absolute savage in this match. Volta did a number on Pete Dunne, but he was an absolute madman when it came to beating the shit out of Ilya Dragunov. It was painful at times, but very hard to look away from. Just an excellent tag team match that manages to fly under the radar for some because it happened on NXT UK television, but I would say if you're down to watch a 15 to 20 minute tag match that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat in anticipation and clutching your chest in empathy, this is that match to watch. And that is my top 30 to 21 matches of 2020. Thank you all for watching. Big shout out to my Patreon backers, Mason Goldberg and NJPW Fan 10. You guys are awesome. Please look into my Patreon, patreon.com/TylerMask, all my social media accounts, and subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Tyler Mask, for more videos like this. I love you guys always, and I will see you all tomorrow for my top 20 to 11 videos of 2020. Peace out, guys.